breaking news coverage from Tulsa's Channel 8.
Everybody started running out of Terminal 1, out of the rental car place. Some lady was yelling for help down in the garage, so I just ran.
They finally let us back, and you could see it just looked like a war zone in here.
Breaking news out of Florida, 5 people dead and at least 8 injured. A shooter opening fire inside the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood airport. Authorities believe they have the suspect in custody and that he acted alone. But as ABC's Elizabeth Herr reports, right now police are going through the airport inch by inch to make sure.
New developments in a 25-year-old cold case now. Back on December 9th of 1992, a hunter discovered a skull in an area near North Harvard Avenue and Mohawk Boulevard. Those remains have now been identified as those of Greta Riles of Tulsa. Riles has been missing for more than 20 years before her family filed a report back in 2012.
Ms. Riles had a lengthy criminal history, and she had a lot of struggles with addiction. And anybody who's had someone in their life with these struggles realizes they just come and go, and they can be missing for a very long time before anybody realizes.
The TSCO's Cold Case Task Force sent the remains for DNA analysis, where the University of North Texas and the ME's office discovered and confirmed Riles' identity. Cheyenne Coomer has now been missing for a year. She's 17 years old now. She was last seen when she was 16 on March 15th of 2016 in Tulsa. Cheyenne is 5'5" with hazel eyes and brown hair, but it's possible that she's dyed her hair. If you know anything about Cheyenne, please contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Channel 8 News at 4.
Today at 4, a shooting that caused a car crash in Midtown, leaving a man in critical condition, now believed to be tied to a woman already wanted in connection with several crimes. Several JCPenney stores in Oklahoma are now included in the 138 locations that are closing. We'll let you know which ones and when you can expect to see them go. And getting into the St. Patrick's Day spirit won't be difficult. Tonight there will be multiple parties going on in the area. We'll give you an inside look at how businesses are preparing for these events. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tyler Butler. Thanks for joining us. Neely Jones is off today. Now, first at 4, Lincoln County officials are searching for 3 inmates who broke out of a jail late last night. Investigators say 23-year-old Brian Moody and Mark Robbins, along with 41-year-old Sonny Baker, escaped through the prison's ventilation system, leaving through the back door. Now, these 3 inmates are considered armed and dangerous. It's believed that they've stolen 2 vehicles, one of which contained a loaded gun and credit cards. The suspect in the death of a New York City EMT now charged with 3 counts of murder. 25-year-old Jose Gonzalez also facing grand larceny and operating a motor vehicle while impaired by drugs. Gonzalez was last seen last night riding on the back of a bumper of an ambulance when EMT Yadir Arroyo left the vehicle. Gonzalez jumped into the ambulance and ran over Arroyo, who died from her injuries. Now, the second EMT in that ambulance currently in critical condition. We're now getting a first look at the damage left behind by a massive 5-alarm fire in Raleigh last night. An apartment complex under construction went up in flames. The site's raw materials and untreated wood most likely causing that fire to spread as fast as it did. Right now, the cause still under investigation.
Tulsa's Channel 8 News at 4.
A day without a woman is a day without me. We know our value, and we know that America doesn't function without us. We know that this globe doesn't function without us.
Women around the world banding together in solidarity today, both celebrating their accomplishments and calling attention to women's issues. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tyler Butler. Neely Jones is on assignment. A Day Without Women organized by the same people who planned the Women's March coast to coast after the inauguration of President Donald Trump. As ABC's Kenneth Moten reports, the day coincides with the Global International Women's Day.
I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body.
Ed Sheeran announcing his new arena tour today, and he's including a stop right here in T-Town. Sheeran will take the stage at the BOK Center on August 17th. Tickets go on sale on March 17th. For more info, you can check out KTUL.com.
Tulsa's Channel 8 News at 4.
The search for a suspected killer in Rogers County finally comes to an end. Brian Benedict was taken into custody this afternoon, just feet from where the murder happened. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Neely Jones.
And I'm Tyler Butler. The Rogers County Sheriff's investigators say they found Benedict hiding out in a small building behind his parents' home. Now, this was the scene outside of his parents' home, just off Maple Drive in Willow near Verdigris. Rogers County Sheriff Scott Walton says that Benedict's mother heard her dogs barking and went to investigate. That's when she found Benedict's backpack with a weapon inside that building. She immediately called police.
We have no timeline as far as how long he was in the shed. We certainly believe that he spent some time in the wilderness. Again, his legs were cut and scratched from not having adequate clothing on and running through the weeds and briars.
Benedict was checked out by paramedics, then taken to county jail to be booked in.
Breaking news just into the newsroom. A 13-year-old girl has been arrested for first-degree arson after a fire was intentionally set in the girls' bathroom at Clyde Boyd Middle School. The Sand Springs police and fire departments responding to the school just before 3 o'clock. 2 students were treated for breathing problems.
Tulsa's Channel 8 News at 4.
Happening now in Mexico, the fireworks market, and this deadly explosion still the site of a massive search and rescue operation. At least 32 people dead, and investigators now fear that number will continue to climb. The Red Cross moved in overnight, rushing the injured victims to hospitals, some with burns over 90% of their bodies. The aftermath leaving chaos and confusion.
Tulsa's Channel 8 News at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. Right now, a kitchen staple found in millions of homes just like yours has many people on edge. The blades are breaking apart, ending up in your food. Now, 8 million food processors by Conair are being recalled. And if you don't have one, there's a good chance you know someone who does. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in New York with more on what you need to do if you have one of these in your kitchen.